The Most High says, I will run to you. I will run to you. If you are a descendant of the transatlantic slave trade and you love truth, you have a hunger for truth, you want to grow in truth, you see the ill treatment that's targeted against this group, and you are opposed to that treatment, this channel is for you. Welcome. If you are not a descendant of the transatlantic slave trade, but you're like, there's something that sticks out about this group of people. I have a comment somewhere on the screen, but this man said, I'm whiter than polar bear milk from Minnesota. Y'all, these comments are something else. And one time when I was traveling, I spent a month in Georgia, and I attended an all-black church each Sunday with a choir like this. So I was watching some gospel music. I'm not very religious, but was lonely, and they were the nicest people on planet Earth. And I went back 3 more times just for the good vibes, music, and people. This kind of church service is wild and so much fun, but the gospel readings were peaceful like a cool bath after a marathon run. When they heard I was traveling, I was forced to attend a different house dinner, potluck, etc. every time, and ate the best food of my life. If this comment resonates with you, you see the ill treatment that's targeted against this group, and you are opposed to that treatment, this channel is for you. Welcome. There's a third group that this channel is for. Now, if you don't know who that third group is, hi, welcome. My name is Adrian, a daughter of the Most High. Please watch parts 1 through 4. That way you are abreast with what it is the Most High is releasing in this season. And then come on back and watch part 5. To everyone else, welcome back, and let's get into this word. Okay, so quick recap. July 2024, I fell asleep on the couch and had a dream. And in the dream, I was sitting in my car. I'm in the parking lot of a place where I had experienced what the world calls, it starts with the letter R, okay? I don't think I can say it on this platform. But when someone is treated badly because of the melanin in their skin. So in real life, what I did, I just stated the facts to the person. They couldn't say anything, and so I left. And when I got back to my car, again, I sent back every evil intent, arrow, any and all evil deposits. I sent it back to the sender, and I loose the vengeance of the Most High on my behalf. Okay, again, I am not passive. I use my authority. Okay, so back to the dream. So in the dream, I'm sitting in my car in the parking lot of that establishment, and I heard a beautiful song. Whitney Houston's I Will Run to You, but it was sung by a popular gospel artist. And the lyrics were, I will run to you, ooh, but when I run to you, ooh, will you hold me in your arms and say that you are mine, girl? And remember, the whole song was beautiful, okay? But how at the end, how that last note, they held it out. And the music, the instruments, just everything, how they amped it up, at the end. And at the end of the dream, I'm like, wait, this is the Most High singing. And then I woke up. Okay, and then in August, remember August 2024, the Most High led me to this scripture, Ezekiel 39:25. Therefore, thus says Yah, now I will bring back the captives of Jacob and have mercy on the whole house of Israel, and I will be jealous for my holy name. So quick recap, we learned how in Ezekiel it was prophesied that the Most High Yah's land would be taken as plunder by Gentile nations, and including Edom. And then we read how Yahushua told his apostles that Jerusalem would be destroyed, and that the land, again, he prophesied that the land would be run down, that's right, trampled down by the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles come to an end. Okay, and then we read how in Ezekiel, how the Most High will gather up his people and return them back to the same very land that he promised our ancestors long ago. That he would give us a new heart, a new spirit. So we are careful to follow his ways, his commands, okay? So the Most High Yah, he said he has a jealous anger that burns against these Gentile nations, but especially against Edom. So who is Edom? Now that we're going to get into today. So Genesis 25. This is the account of the family of Isaac, the son of Abraham. When Isaac was 40 years old, he married Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel the Aramean from Padan Aram, and the sister of Laban the Aramean. Y'all forgive me, with the pronunciation. Isaac pleaded with Yah on behalf of his wife because she was unable to have children. Yah answered Isaac's prayer, and Rebekah became pregnant with twins. But the two children struggled with each other in her womb. So she went to ask Yah about it. Why is this happening to me? She asked. And Yah told her, the sons in your womb will become two nations. From the very beginning, the two nations will be rivals. One nation will be stronger than the other, and your older son will serve the younger. And when the time came, y'all remember that, the older son will serve the younger. Okay, and when the time came to give birth, Rebekah discovered that she did indeed have twins. The first one was very red at birth and covered with thick hair like a fur coat. So they named him Esau. Then the older twin was born with his hand grasping Esau's heel. So they named him Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when the twins were born. So the Most High said from the very beginning that these two nations will be rivals, and that the older son will serve the younger. We're descendants of the younger son, y'all. Our rivals, they sure do recognize us, and it's time for us to recognize them. Okay, back to the scripture. As the boys grew up, Esau became a skillful hunter. He was an outdoorsman, but Jacob had a quiet temperament, preferring to stay at home. Isaac loved Esau because he enjoyed eating the wild game Esau brought home, but Rebekah loved Jacob. One day when Jacob was cooking some stew, Esau arrived home from the wilderness, exhausted and hungry. Esau said to Jacob, I'm starved. Give me some of that red stew. This is how Esau got his other name, Edom, which means red. So as you can see, Esau is also known as Edom, and his descendants are called Edomites. So these constructs of black and white, no. We are all from tribes, and the Most High Yah, he still remembers who is who. Yeah. Okay, so Esau said to Jacob, I'm starved. Give me some of that red stew. This is how Esau got his other name, Edom, which means red. All right, Jacob replied, but trade me your rights as the firstborn son. Look, I'm dying of starvation, said Esau. What good is my birthright to me now? But Jacob said, first you must swear that your birthright is mine. So Esau swore an oath, therefore selling all his rights as the firstborn to his brother Jacob. We're descendants of Jacob, y'all. Then Jacob gave Esau some bread and lentil stew. Esau ate the meal, then got up and left. He showed contempt for his rights as firstborn. Okay, so let's look up the definition for contempt. The feeling that a person or something is beneath consideration, worthless, or deserving scorn. And so that is what Edom showed. Okay, that's what he showed in regards to his birthright. Now, Romans, it goes in a little deeper about this. So let's go to Romans so we can read. Okay, this son was our ancestor Isaac. When he married Rebekah, she gave birth to twins. But before they were born, before they had done anything good or bad, she received a message from Yah. This message shows that Yah chooses people according to his own purposes. He calls people, but not according to their good or bad works. She was told, your older son will serve your younger son. We're descendants of the younger son, y'all. In the words of the scriptures, I love Jacob, but I rejected Esau. Let's read this in the King James Version. That way we can be very clear on the Most High Yah's feelings towards Edom or Esau. And not only this, but when Rebekah had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of Yah according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. It was said unto her, the elder son will serve the younger. As it is written, Jacob I have loved, but Esau have I, Hated. I don't think I can say that word on this platform, okay? So now these words came from Malachi. And just in case someone is kind of confused about, well, who's saying that they Hated Esau? Okay, Malachi clears it up. Okay, so let's read that just in case there's any confusion. The burden of the word of Yah to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, says Yah. Yet you say, in what way have you loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, says Yah? Yet Jacob I have loved, but Esau I have Hated. So we see clearly the Most High Yah's feelings towards Esau. And the Most High said from the very beginning that these two nations will be rivals. So what is a rival? Let's look at that definition. A person or thing competing with one another for the same objective or superiority in the same field of activity. That word superiority, our rivals, they sure do recognize us, and it's time for us to recognize them, y'all. Now with Esau, we see his descendants being called different names, okay? So we see, yes, he was called Edom. Now Esau lived in Mount Seir, which is also called Idumea. So in some translations, you'll see Idumea in the scriptures instead of Edom. Now Mount Seir is also known as Petra. In Genesis 36, we see how Esau defeated the Horites and took over the land. Okay, he married the daughter of the Horite chieftain. And then Genesis 36 provides a list of the Horite descendants who intermarried with the Edomites. So who are these Horites? This is what we're going to dig into. Now in Jeremiah 49, it says, but I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled. Y'all remember that part. And his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. So what really sticks out is where it says his seed is spoiled. And this sticks out because the Nephilim, Anakim, Rephaim, and Horites, they are the giants mentioned in the Bible that were born from fallen angels, demons, impregnating humans. Now, some believe that the Nephilim was destroyed in the flood, but that is not scriptural. And we're about to read that way, there's no confusion about that. In Genesis 6:4, it reads, in those days and for some time after, giant Nephilites lived on the earth. For whenever the sons of Yah had intercourse with women, they gave birth to children who became the heroes and famous warriors of ancient times. Okay, so just in case someone's saying, well, who are the sons of Yah? Okay, we're going to read this in a different translation. And we're also going to read a verse after the flood that shows, that they were still here. Okay. In those days and even afterwards, when the evil beings from the spirit world, the evil angels, the demons, okay, were, I don't think I can say that word, but had intercourse, okay, with human women, their children became giants, of whom so many legends are told. Okay, and so after the flood, when a group of men went back to Moses to give a report on Canaan, okay, we're about to read about that, and this is in Numbers. So take note of these scriptures and read over them, in your free time. We saw the Nephilim. They're the descendants of Anak from the Nephilim. We seem like grasshoppers in our own eyes, and we look the same to them. So we see here that the Nephilim, they were not destroyed in the flood. So who exactly did Esau or Edom mix his seed with? Now, the definition of Horite is a cave dweller, troglodyte, okay, a Chorite, aboriginal Idumean. Now, cave dwellers are known as Neanderthals. Troglodytes, who Esau, mixed his seed with, they are people who live chiefly in caves. Now, the synonyms of troglodyte are barbarian, animal, caveman, Neanderthal, brute, primitive, savage, heathen, beast. Remember, Esau's seed is spoiled. Now, definition of Chorite or Korite, I think that's how you pronounce it. And I'll have a link in the description. That way you can read about it. Let's read here. The name Horite or Chorite is mentioned Genesis 36:22. Okay. As a child of Lotan. Okay, let's go down a little bit. In Hebrew, the same word Chorai means white and white bread. So as the ISBE says, perhaps it meant white nation. Now another translation, or I'm sorry, another tradition has it that the name originated from Chor, meaning hole or cave, okay, because the Horites were thought to be cave dwellers. Okay, so remember that the meaning of Horite or Chorite, which means white. Now we're going to read an article that talks about pigmentation in skin. And I'll have a link in the description. That way you can read this article in your free time. How Europeans evolved white skin. Most of us think of Europe as the ancestral home of white people. But a new study shows that pale skin, as well as other traits such as tallness and the ability to digest milk, as adults arrived in most of the continent relatively recently. The work presented here last week at the 84th annual meeting of the American Association of Physical Anthropologists offers dramatic evidence of recent evolution in Europe and shows the most modern Europeans don't look like those of 8,000 years ago. The modern humans who came out of Africa to originally settle Europe about 40,000 years are presumed to have dark skin. Okay, which is advantageous, in sunny latitudes. And the new data confirmed that about 8,500 years ago, early hunter-gatherers in Spain, Luxembourg, and Hungary also had darker skin. They lacked the versions of two genes, SLC248A5 and SLC45A2, that lead to depigmentation and therefore pale skin in Europeans today. Okay, so there has been a change in the pigmentation of skin in the area of what we will call Europe today. From dark melanated, or what people would say black, from dark skin to pale skin, or from black skin to white skin, as some people say. So the original people had dark melanated skin, and what we see today in Europeans is is the pale skin. So let's read another article, and I'll have a link in the description, of all these articles. Okay. This classification is based on the recent genome studies, which are proving that dark skin is the default human color. The genetic mutations have happened in the human genome of the West habitant 4,000 years ago to accommodate with the climate. This accommodation was described as genetic selection, when 3 genes were mutated for white skin and 1 gene has mutated for blue eyes. 2 genes, SLC, okay, the same 2 genes, okay, SLC 24A5 and SLC 45A2, that lead to skin depigmentation and therefore Europeans pale skin today. So according to the National Library of Medicine, dark melanated skin, or some people use the term black, but black, dark melanated skin is the default human skin color. And there were mutations of 3 genes that made white skin, and 1 mutation of 1 gene that made blue eyes. So the question is, where did these mutations come from? So this article, Neanderthal genes live in our hair and skin. Truth matters to lovers of righteousness, y'all. Neanderthals died out long ago, but their genes live on in us. Scientists studying human chromosomes say that they've discovered a surprising amount of Neanderthal DNA in our genes. And these aren't just random fragments. They help shape what we look like today, including our hair and skin. These genes crept into our DNA tens of thousands of years ago through occasional intercourse encounters between Neanderthal and human ancestors who lived in Europe at that time. They show up today in their descendants, people of European and Asian descent. So we see here that the descendants of these intercourse encounters, okay, between the Neanderthals and humans are people of European and Asian descent. And these genes shape how their hair and skin look like today. Remember, the default human skin color is dark melanated. The Europeans, Asians today don't have that default human skin color because of the mutations of genes from the intercourse encounters with the Neanderthal and humans. So one more article, y'all, and I'll have a link in the description. Europeans looked down on the Neanderthals until they realized they shared their DNA. In January 2014, an international team of leading archaeologists, geneticists, and anthropologists confirmed that humans outside of Africa bred with Neanderthals. Y'all, we read this in scripture. I'm just giving you all articles to read, okay? But yes, we already read about this, in scripture. Those of European and Asian ancestry have a very small but tangible presence of this now extinct human in our lineage, up to 4% of our DNA. Okay, this is the last slide. Last slide, y'all. Yes, the Edomites, descendants of Esau, lived in the hill country of Seir, which is located in what is now southwestern Jordan. Okay, and it goes on to say, the different areas. You can read that in your free time. And now at the bottom, Neanderthals were a species that evolved in Europe and Asia, while modern humans, or Homo sapiens, evolved in Africa. Neanderthals and humans interbred, and human DNA today contains Neanderthal genes. The human bloodline was infiltrated, y'all. We read in scripture about how the fallen angels, they impregnated the human women, right? And then how Esau interbred with the Horites, or Korai, which literally means white. He interbred with these beings formed from the unions of fallen angels and humans. Esau's seed is spoiled. He mixed his seed with the cave dwellers, with the Horite, with the Neanderthal. He mixed his seed with the union of fallen angels and humans. And don't forget, we're talking about our rivals. We have to know who our rival is. We have to know about our rival. We can't be ignorant of the enemy's devices. That way he doesn't get an advantage over us. Edom is envious and jealous of us, the Most High's chosen people. And he can't stand the ones who are cleaving to us. This is not to scare us, but this is to remind us to put on the full armor of Yah. No enemy can withstand the power of Yah in our lives. So who exactly was Israel, Yehuda sold to as slaves? Whew. That, y'all, we're going to get into in the next video. The Most High is bringing back the captives of Jacob, and he will be jealous for his holy name. To the tribe of Yehuda, to all the other tribes, to those that are cleaving to the house of Jacob, let's continue praying, asking the Most High to remove any and all scales from our eyes, to love what he loves, to hate what he hates, to detest the false, and to love what is true. He's running to us. He's running to me. He's running to you. Y'all take care. See you all in the next video, and allow the blessings of the Most High to overtake you.